Art theft is a subject with a long, long history because as long as there have been paintings, there have been people who want them for themselves.
Well, works of art are magnets, and the greater the work of art, the greater the magnet. It's the attraction of doing it that makes people want to do it.
A bank has its treasures locked away in a vault. They have guards with machine guns. A museum has a couple of sleepy fellows sitting in the corner. You do it because it's easy.
Whenever I've been involved with any art heist, it's about the money. You know, people steal because they want to have these pieces to sell.
But aren't most art thefts commissioned by an unscrupulous collector who wants these masterpieces for himself?
Whenever a great painting is stolen, the first thing the police say is, we have every reason to believe that this theft was commissioned by some illicit collector. As far as we know, that's hardly ever the case. It doesn't seem to happen.
The fallacy is, and the fallacy was created by a movie called Dr. No, which was a 007 movie back in the 60s. And in that movie, James Bond walks into the caves of Dr. No and he sees a fabulous painting that had just been stolen a few months before. And he sees it on the wall and he says, oh, so that's what happened to that. Well, that's what created that whole idea of the collector, the famous collector with lots of money buying stolen paintings. I can say that in 20 years of my investigations, I never found that situation.
Even if those people existed, those kind of Dr. No's, they're not going to run across our thieves. These are the kind of guys who sell steaks out of the back of their cars.
That means art thieves aren't the suave, debonair types we read about in books or see in the movies.
We think of thieves, art thieves in particular, as, you know, they're all the Thomas Crown affair. They're all done by geniuses, brilliantly executed.
This is not Thomas Crown affair. In real life art crime, at least today, there's not a tuxedo to be seen.
Many times these thieves go in with guns and they put everybody on the floor. It's an armed robbery.
People stealing art, most of them, they are people who kill, they smuggle drugs, they smuggle arms, they smuggle women. Nothing of that is very sympathetic in no way.
So how does Vincenzo Peruggia fit in with the rogues gallery of art thieves?
There are many stories like the Peruggia one. There are many stories of unglamorous people who steal a hugely glamorous painting.
And in this respect, he's typical of art thieves. They're often very small-time guys. They often don't really know what to do with the thing after they've got it, which is why a lot of art does get thrown into a closet and stays there for years and years, because on the one hand, they can't sell it, but on the other hand, it's too hot for them to give it away.
But why does it often take a long time for stolen artwork to be recovered?
C'est simple, vous le gardez chez vous, l'objet ne bouge pas, mais vous pouvez rien en faire, mais enterrer, tant qu'il ne les déterre pas, on ne va pas les retrouver. Ça, vous voyez ce que je veux dire? Donc, c'est pas étonnant que des objets restent longtemps comme ça, cachés, protégés. Non.
You steal something easily off a wall, then what do you do with it? And if it's a masterpiece, it's unsaleable.
So what can a thief do with a stolen work of art?
The generally accepted theory is that they used like chips in an underworld game, exchanging these paintings for dope, for counterfeit money. Who knows?
And so these paintings hop down the line from thief to thief to thief, and often they end up thousands of miles away from where they were stolen in the first place.
And this causes even bigger problems for these works of art.
These are not art preservationists, these thieves. And so a giant worry for the police and for the museums who've lost their paintings is that this masterpiece that's survived 300 years is going to be thrown in a basement where the rooms leak, or be tossed in the back of a closet or in the trunk of a car.
It's always the fear is that not to recover the item. So, you know, in order to save themselves, they get rid of the evidence, they burn it, throw it in a river, destroy it, and that's what you don't want to do.
I would say there's not a month that goes by that 2 or 3 thefts of fairly well-known paintings don't happen. The best known was the break-in at the Isabella Stewart Gardner Museum in Boston.
On the night of St. Patrick's Day, March 17, 1990, 2 armed men dressed as policemen entered the museum and took 13 priceless works of art.
What was stolen was just incredible stuff. a huge Rembrandt, one of the biggest in the world, a Vermeer, only 35 of them exist anywhere. But oddly enough, this trail went completely cold. How can these paintings not surface?
There's a $5 million reward for information leading to the stolen painting's safe return.
Where are they? Nobody knows. It's just amazing.
Fortunately, nowadays we have worldwide organizations like the Art Loss Register that will keep the names and descriptions of stolen paintings and images of them for as long as the painting's stolen. And so there is a record now of major paintings stolen that would make it very difficult for anybody to forget about them, and that includes some of the lesser ones as well. What I would say to anybody contemplating stealing a famous painting is don't. It's not worth your while. The theft of the Mona Lisa and similar crimes don't make money. It's just not worth stealing a masterpiece.